Well, hey there, and welcome back to GFB TV, where we highlight real women building confidence, discipline, and getting real results with their money through Girlfriend's Budget. Because honestly, it's not just about the numbers, it's also about like the lifestyle and the peace and the freedom that comes with having your finances together. So today I am joined by a very special guest. Miss Sonya, who's been here um, as part of the GFB Academy for about 9 months now. And she's made some really beautiful progress in her financial journey. So, Sonya, tell the people a little bit about yourself, who you are, what you do, things like that.
Yeah, Elle. Well, thank you for having me. It's been great being a part of this community. So I'm Sonya. I live in the Dallas area. I have one son. He's 7 years old. And right now I am business owner. I own my own design company where I design websites and help companies organize their internal structures. So my goal is to just bring calm, clarity, and structure to people's online presence. So that's what I do. I also enjoy learning, which is why I love to be a part of communities where I can, learn how to improve myself and improve my overall lifestyle and choices that I make, especially when it comes to finances.
I love that about you, Sonia, because you really do invest in yourself and you put yourself in groups and situations and organizations that you believe are going to really help elevate you in your life. And that is such a beautiful thing because a lot of people are afraid to do that. So I love that you are not afraid to just take that leap and be like, you know what, this is going to help me. Let's try it out,
Yeah, thank you.
So with that being said, let's go back to before GFP. How did you first hear about Girlfriend's Budget?
Well, I think I first heard about you maybe a few years ago, actually. Maybe I was doing a search for like financial coaching or something like that. And maybe at the time, I just decided not to, I don't know, maybe something was just going on at that particular time in my life. But last year, when I found you, I was just at a space where I was really ready to have like that type of structure and accountability. So I found you just doing a Google search online. And then I saw your Instagram, and I think that's when I saw you had like a membership program. And I think you reached out to me and I looked over the information, and I thought that it would be a really good next step for me because I have been seeking out coaching from other people, but I just never made that decision. And I'm glad I did because it's been a really great experience for me.
I love to hear that. So,
Yeah.
okay, before you joined, what would you say would be like some of the money habits or the challenges that you were dealing with?
I would say not really knowing my numbers, like not really knowing where all of my money was going. I had an idea, but I didn't really like sit to look at, okay, where is this actually going? And some habits around credit card usage, like there were things that I would tell myself, like, okay, I can just, pay for it later. Those
Mhm.
kind of behaviors are the things that kind of like built up into poor habits. And so once I saw like the pattern and realized I couldn't really do it with the things that I was doing, I felt like it was time to learn like some new tools. There's also like a lot of mindset work, and you do a lot of that. You do a really good job with combining like emotional well-being and affirmations. And I love that because it does make a big difference in how you make decisions financially. And you also are really big on giving yourself grace and not shaming yourself for past decisions. And I think that was another reason why maybe I kept repeating the same patterns because I would feel bad about it and then I would go back into the same thing. So,
Mm. You are saying what a lot of people feel, and they don't
Yes.
say out loud. But I appreciate you sharing and being vulnerable because that's true. And that's typically the cycle that a lot of people are in. They buy the thing or whatever it is to feel good because they're looking for an emotional, dopamine hit. But then after they buy the thing, especially if they couldn't necessarily afford the thing at that time, putting it on credit or taking away from another bill or expense to pay for that or whatever the case is. And then they feel guilty and they feel bad and shameful. And then it's like this big cycle just over and over and over again that feels like you can never get off, but you actually can. You can get off
Yes.
the hamster wheel. So I'm
Yeah.
so glad that you said that. And I really love your journey because it shows that it's not an overnight change. None of this is like an overnight quick fix, but it's just about real, steady, stable growth, just putting one foot in front of the other. And sometimes you may take a few steps back, and that's okay, just as long as you keep moving forward.
Yeah, I agree. I would say the awareness is key for me. I think that's been really huge for me more recently in the last couple of months. Like I would really look at if I made a decision that might not have been the best decision, I would really have that awareness without the shame attached to it and be like, okay, well, how can I put something in place to where I don't make the same decision next time?
Yes, putting parameters, boundaries around yourself to set yourself up for success.
Yes.
So, since joining, how would you describe your progress overall?
Overall, I would say my progress has been really amazing because I not only implement the things that you teach, like as far as like the budgeting and the spreadsheet is very simple, but it's easy because you get to like put in all of the expenses that you have. And I think for me, when I was trying to budget, I had a spreadsheet, but I wasn't tracking everything there. And I think the way that you do it, it makes sense where you put every single thing that you have, no matter if you're paying it out of credit cards, you get to see like, okay, this is what I am actually spending. So seeing those numbers, though a lot of it is like, oh wow, I didn't know that I was spending all of that money or I had all of that on my credit card. So I think that's the progress that I've been making, just being able to um be consistent with checking that every single week. And now I have like these things where I implement like a daily check-in and then a weekly like review of like spending. And I love like the structure that you teach about like having those accounts. And that's the progress that I make. Because when I started with you, I had multiple bill accounts. So I was paying bills from like I had multiple checking accounts. And so I didn't have a solid structure or process for how I was paying bills. So I would easily lose track of what was going where. So since joining, I've been able to finally I closed off one of my accounts. I have one bill account, one spending account, and then the savings. So I think that structure has helped me a lot. And then I can be mindful of staying on top of credit card payments. And like you said, it takes time. It's not going to be overnight. Like I do celebrate when I pay like a small credit card off or something like that. But I do understand like it is going to be a process. So I think overall, I would say my progress has been just around having that structure and that consistency. And then also like emotional, like checking in with myself about how I'm feeling. I think all of those things have been really key. Thanks to you and what you share and how you encourage us. That's been huge for me.
Oh, thank you. I'm just so happy and proud to be a part of the journey. And, that is one thing that you really did take and run with is like getting organized and getting the structure together. We had the little checklist and we're like, okay, do this, do this, do this. And we got it done. And now you do have a structured plan, of like where the money is supposed to be moving to, which really should make life like much easier. That's the goal is to make the financial part less stress so that it can make life a little bit easier. How do you think that's also transitioned into your business? Because while you've been with GFB, you've transitioned from like employee to being full-time entrepreneur. So how do you feel like the two are connected with your personal and your business finances?
They are very connected. It also helped me to see that I really needed to get the business side, like structure in place because I did not have that whole thing together. So I think the community that you offer, like the business side of it, there's also another layer where you like provide information and resources on like how you can set up your business. Another tab in the spreadsheet where you can track all of your business expenses. So I've started the process of like listing out all of my expenses. And actually, when I filed my taxes, I created a spreadsheet where I could look at all of my business expenses, where they were being paid out of, the frequency of like that particular bill. And so since then, I've made progress. My business is set up. I have my business accounts. I already got that part in process.
Mhm.
So when I get that all together, I'll be able to really have all of those things separated. And then learning, like having a business is so different versus like working for someone. So that's been another thing that I've been learning. Like I have to be responsible for like where the money is going, making sure that I have the money set aside for taxes and all of that stuff. So I think even though I'm in the early stages, it's just learning the foundational pieces have been very helpful so that when my business does grow, I'm not like feeling like unprepared.
Yes, absolutely. Like you took all the words right out of my mouth, like the foundational pieces, like having that done. And like as you grow, have that foundation to build upon, so that you don't have to worry about going back. You're not building the house, but then going back trying to fix the foundation too while you're still trying to build a house. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't work out that way. So yes, starting with the basics, getting all the groundwork done, and then building from there is the most ideal, and then
Yes.
it allows you to keep your stress levels down because running a business already, I mean, you're running a business, plus you're a mom, you got a lot of things going on, you know what I mean? And so having some type of plan, structure, all of those things just keeps the stress levels down, like the unnecessary
Yes.
stress levels down.
Yes, and I just really feel like your community, it came across like my space at the right time because I really didn't plan to have things happen the way that they did, but I feel like at the time when I joined, it was right before everything shifted with my job. So it really helped me just start to put those things in place, having a solid foundation. And, as I talk to you and then being a part of your community, I just realized that even with the business side is going to take time. Like sometimes you can get a little like I guess frustrated about like, okay, I really was expecting this to happen this month, but it didn't happen. But I can just look at like I'm building a foundation. Things are going to come at the right time. And then once they do come, I'll have everything set up because of the things that I put into practice. So it's all been very, very encouraging. Like I do have my days where I'm just like, oh my goodness, what am I doing?
Yes.
But I like it's moments like these that just remind me like it's just small beginnings. Don't despise it. It's going to all work out in the end. So I really, really appreciate you and everything that you do.
Oh, I appreciate you too so, so much. Okay, just a couple more questions. So, with us talking about successes, what would you say are some of the wins that you're most proud of since you've been with the community?
Overall, I would say I'm most proud of just having the structure and the consistency because I used to be really big on just trying to be on top of my money, but I wasn't consistent with it. So being consistent with putting everything on the spreadsheet, looking at what I've, spent or bills that were paid. I think that part has been big. And then also just the mindset, honestly, like just really looking at things from a perspective of this is where they are, it's not where they'll always be if it's something that's, not ideal for you. And then just being in the community, it makes you feel like you're not alone. I feel very supported being a part of the community. So I feel like that's the progress that I made. Just realizing that I don't have to do this on my own. I can lean into that support and just being consistent and having like those sessions and just holding yourself accountable. I think those have been big things for me.
Love. Accountability is a big thing that people, I think, miss sometimes. Is like you can have the discipline, you can have the motivation, but if you don't have the accountability to hold yourself accountable or have someone else hold you accountable, then you're really not moving the way you think you're moving towards your goals because like there has to be accountability there.
Yeah, I agree.
So, to any women who are watching this now, and maybe they've been on the fence about joining a community or working with a money coach, a business coach, what advice would you give them?
I would say just take the step because it's not going to change. Like if you just try to do it on your own, it's not going to change. You may find yourself, repeating cycles. And I would just say, and give it a chance. Like you don't really have anything to lose. So just give yourself the opportunity to see if this is a good fit for you. It'll just give you that information to see like, okay, this is something that I need. And I think it will be something that will be great for you because it's been really vital and helpful for me. So I would just say, just give it a chance. Like you can just come into the session, see how it feels. I will say that it feels very welcoming and it's a safe space, so you don't have to feel afraid to be open about where you are with your finances because we're human. We all have our, certain challenges. So you're not alone. So I would just encourage you to just give it a try. You never know what you may find on the other side of like just giving it a shot.
Love that advice so much. Well, Sonia, thank you so much for sharing your journey, sharing your story. It's such a powerful reminder that progress doesn't have to be perfect. It's like you said,
Yes.
it's consistency, it's having a plan, it's strategy, those things. And then that builds confidence and it builds discipline and then it builds the results that you're looking for. So, if you are watching this and you're ready to stop guessing, with your money and where it's going and finally feel in control, and feel that sense of freedom when it comes to your finances, then head over to girlfriendsbudget.com and check out the academy because the results are real, the support is real, and your glow up is waiting on you. So until next time, love your budget and love your life. See you later.